渋谷、渋谷です。
So how do you say that?
Shenmue all day long.
Yeah, well, I would say Shenmue. And the way that it's wrote in Japanese as well is Shenmue. And consider it's a Japanese game, I would say that is the correct way to pronounce it.
Shenmue. And I've always said Shenmue.
Sorry, no.
Everybody's corrected me on it, and I've not heard another single person say it another way.
It's Teto.
Teto.
Teto. As if like you're watching karate and they go, yeah, they proper like announce both sets of the words Teto. But no, it's Tato.
It's not.
It's not.
No, it's not.
Go on. What is it? Then?
Taito.
It's Taito.
Taito.
No, Tato.
No.
Yes. I shouldn't really be arguing with you because it's probably got Japanese origins, but
Well,
still.
it is. It's a Japanese company, and it is Taito.
I say Tato. I believe Eddie says something like Teisho.
No, he's right.
Teisho, maybe.
There's no way.
There is other variations.
What do you say, Chicken Man?
Tate mode.
Yeah, I mean it's if he was reading it in English, it would be Tate mode, yeah. But it's actually
Yeah.
Tate.
Yeah, I have heard that, but I'm. Yeah. The problem is you've got ate, as in like obviously eating, and mode, which is simple. But yeah, I have heard tate mode.
Yeah, well, it's Japanese and it means vertical. Obviously, mode is not Japanese; that's English. But it's in that what you're saying is Tate is a Japanese word, and it's tate, and it means vertical. Tate.
So, yeah, I mean, I would say Tate mode. Apparently, the way Eddie says it and the correct way of saying it is Tate mode.
Yeah, let's
No.
emphasis on the E.
Tate mode or Tate mode
Now, the thing
is
is, the question
basically
is,
turning
has
the
anything
screen
educated by yourself?
upright, so that horizontal shooters or vertical shooters look.
It's got lost in translation.
Yeah, I mean, in Japanese it is ease. I'm guessing people that know the game know that it's ease, and it's just people looking in from the outside that would quite rightly assume that it might be wise or something similar.
I fall into that.
Now it's not really a game I'm familiar with. I do know there is a version on the Master System, and yeah, I mean it's basically two letters. But I suppose there's two ways of saying it:
Educational.
wise
See, I'm learning from you.
or
Now we're
ease.
just learning. It's on the master.
Or you could even probably say just YS. And as far as I know, there is an apostrophe between the Y and the S,
Yeah, there's
making it plural. So I would either say it's ease or wise.
and
Chances are
if
it's
you put an
ease.
apostrophe, it wouldn't make it.
But
It makes it possessive.
I said wise just purely based on how it is. It's just two letters, Y, S, wise.
Deus Ex.
Yeah, same. It just speaks for itself.
I know a lot of people have been saying this wrong for a long time. I obviously say Deus Ex.
Deus Ex.
Apparently, it's probably Deus Ex, Deus Ex, Deus EX.
What you got to say about this one, Chicken?
Well, considering it gets pronounced as Sega, there is no way I can argue any other thing other than it being Sega.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, there's a few ways of looking at it though, because Sega is not actually a word. It's a what's the word? Acronym.
Yeah.
It means something like I forget what it is, but like South, blah blah blah. Whatever. I don't know what it is. I forget.
Right.
It was actually started by Americans in Japan. So whatever they decided to pronounce it, I've got no idea. But obviously, when they made the company, they had to register it in Japanese, and I know how to pronounce that 100%, and that is Sega. It's very short and sweet. Sega.
I suppose we can get.
And
I suppose
obviously,
we
when they do it at the start, they just elongate it. Sega.
Obviously.
But it's
But
essentially the same.
I suppose if we can get pedantic about it, it could be Sega, as in like a different pronunciation of the E.
Well, it's not.
No, it's not. I'm just being like obviously pedantic about it, but
Sega, baby.
Sega. And yeah, a lot of you will say Sega and adamantly say that you are correct. I beg to differ.
Yeah.
Now, I've said Sega all my life, and a lot of people around here anyway, I know have said Sega. Retro Red Steve says Sega. And the Last Gamer says Sega as well, and he actually got in contact with Sega, and apparently they've confirmed it is that. I know it sounds like Sega on the loading screen for the Mega Drive games, but he's had it confirmed by Sega. It's Sega. So there's no arguments no more. I've told you what it is, and you can now stop saying Sega.
What say you?
well, for me, it's Ubisoft, but you're going to tell me it's going to be Ubisoft or
Well, I sometimes say Ubisoft and sometimes I say Ubisoft. I don't know, but I believe that it is Ubisoft.
I've always called it Ubisoft, but yes, I can understand Ubisoft, but.
Two ways of saying this. You either say it as Ubisoft or Ubisoft.
You could say
And
Ubisoft.
it's all on the emphasis of the U.
It's Ninja Gaiden. It's not Ninja Gaiden. It's not Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's Japanese and it is obviously ninja is ninja. We can all say that, but it is Gaiden.
Gaiden.
In my eyes, it
But
really does.
apparently it's Ninja Gaiden. Probably some may say Gaiden. I don't know. But yeah.
Gallagher.
Yeah, I say Gallagher. I've always said Gallagher. I bet she wants this.
Gallagher.
Oh,
Gallagher. Now, on the last game, they did say the correct pronunciation is Galaga. As, you know,
yeah, because he's Australian.
Galaga,
Gallagher, mate.
the beer.
You're flaming Gallagher.
But I've always said it just as it is, Gallagher.
Well, I'll have another one.
I'm not sure if there's another way of pronouncing that.
I had this game on the PSP, and I
I
always
would've
called
said-
it Lumines,
I would have said Luminese.
but I've got no idea what it's supposed to be.
Lumines. Lumines.
I thought-
Lumens. Now, that is how I would say it,
Yeah,
Lumens.
Lumines.
There's Lumines, possibly Lumines. But yeah, I would say Lumines. Lumens.
Pokemon. But I've always called it Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm with you, Pokemon, but
Pokemon and Pokemon. Pokemon. But I would just say
But
Pokemon.
that's what the Queen calls it.
That might even be Pokemon. You know, kind of taking out the E.
It's Psygnosis.
see, I don't pronounce the G. Cyanosis for me.
Yeah. That's. I mean, yeah. Thinking about it logically, that probably is the correct pronunciation. But yeah, I've always said Psygnosis.
Could also be Signosis. You know, the Y and the G being like
Yeah,
a word together.
Psygnosis also makes sense.
So, Signosis. That is how I would say it. Signosis. That's how I've always said it.
Something like Sanon or something like that. Yeah, it's got a silent N, X, and I.
God. See, I don't understand it with the English language though, right? You got like the word NAT.
So this was a popular shooter from the Commodore 64 by Thalamus, and I would say Sanction. Sanction.
Yeah, similar to what
I suppose some people could say Sanction,
Yeah.
Sankion maybe.
So I've always called this IDOS,
Yeah, but you could
which
have
I know
EDOS as well.
doesn't
couldn't you?
really make much sense because it's a fucking E, but I don't know. I guess it's just one of them things where you sort of hear it before you read it. Do you know what I mean? Like people talk about it. It's like IDOS, and it just kind of stuck. I probably would, if I'd never heard of it, and it's like, how do you pronounce it? I probably would have said EDOS, but
I'm like you. I'm like you, IDOS. I mean, but, you know, you could easily, if you just read it on your own for the first time without being influenced, you know, you could easily be EDOS. You know?
So I would say IDOS, and I dare say some people could pronounce it ADOS, depending on how you pronounce the E and I to the D.
obviously, like down in South, you would say master system.
You would.
It is obviously master system, but where it gets confusing is I've heard like people up north call it as if like they're barring like a sheep. Master system.
I'm from down south, and it's always master system. So now you can even take the mick out of system.
Yeah,
you can do
it is. It's the master system. Master.
Would it be funny if he did literally go,
Master
"It's
system.
master
There's
system."
no R between the A and the S in master. It's not
Could you
Mars.
imagine if we just started
Master
saying new?
system.
It is 100% master system.
Quality, absolutely quality.